Hello, everybody. Welcome to a non-Minecraft game. But what game is this, one you may be asking? What game am I showing you? Well, simply put, it's Tank Mechanic Simulator. This is a game that's been out for a little bit now. I think about a month. Almost as long as Bannerlord has been out. And I have, I think, more hours in this game than I do Bannerlord. No, I only have 13 hours in this game. But I love this game. Simply put, it's a mechanic simulator. You are a tank mechanic, and you go out and you either repair, you get emails from that computer over there, and you either repair tanks that they'll send you. So, for example, they'll send you like a T-34 Soviet tank, and you will have to fix it up for them and then send it back to them. Or sometimes you'll get emails that will be a tank that you can retrofit and keep for yourself or sell for your own money, such as that M10 over there. So, what are we doing today? Well, I wanted to show off the tank stuff, so I thought what better way to do that than to go do an extraction. So we're going to take the off-road car here. This game's a little loud, so I'm actually going to turn down the audio as soon as we load in here. It is already out, very loud in my ears. I didn't turn the game's volume down at all before recording this, and then I remembered, oh yeah, I never play this with headphones on, so it doesn't hurt that much. But then I remembered I have headphones on this time, so I can't hear anything. Birds! Why are they so loud? Bird! Why do I like this game so much? Well, for one thing, I really like tanks, and it has a lot of Soviet-era tanks. For another thing, it's regularly being updated. The developers of the game are actually very active on the forums. Oh, I didn't even check the tablet. Not the forums, but on like on Reddit, or not Reddit, Steam. They're on like the Steam forums and everything. And Steam is actually, and they're like, people are asking questions, and the community is giving them suggestions, and they're taking those suggestions and you know, answering questions and everything. So here's something interesting that I learned recently. They have confirmed that they will be either adding Japanese, French, or British tanks, or all three. And it would make sense to add British. Britain had a lot of tanks. It would also make sense to add Japanese. Well, maybe not Japanese, but French for sure. And maybe not Japanese, but Japanese would still be really cool to have. This is normally what I do. I normally use the drone to try and find it, just because it's a lot easier. And then I'll work on driving down there as it goes. Normally it's like right in the center though. So let's just like send the drone over there and see if it finds anything. You can actually see the drone off in the distance. Should be like right overhead. Yep, you can barely see it there as I stare into the sun. Here's the drone. Did I find it? It already found it. Alright. Here we go. Drone. Go sit over there. Alright, so now we just gotta grab the Chauvel. So the drone is now sitting over where it is. So we just gotta run out here and dig. So I go right over here somewhere. Just plant a flag so I remember. There it is. Is it another M10? I think it's another M10. Yeah, that's an M10, alright. Alright. We'll repair it then. We'll sell this one, because the M10 that was already in the shop, I'm saving for the next time I'm playing games with Obi, because For all my friends, I'm actually having them be like sponsors for the tanks, and so like they get to design the tanks and everything like that, design what they look like and everything. But for this, we're just gonna record, and I'm just gonna show you repairing a tank and everything. We're gonna do this tank here. Sometimes the game can be a bit tedious, a little bit. It's a fun game, I'd say, but it's a little, it's a tank, it's a simulator game, so it's not perfect. But it can be a little tedious at times. Just gonna go all the way around here, find that 1% that we're missing. There we go. Load onto the trailer, and then head back to the workshop. Let's go. That's pretty much how you get new tanks. I think you can actually just buy new tanks if you wanted to. You can also repair parts if you need to, or you can just outsource the repairs. I typically like to outsource the repairs just because it's easier. And then for certain things that I can't just like repair, like for example, there's certain things on the M10 that you have to break off of it. For example, boxes, certain boxes you'll have to break off. Oh wow, this one actually has a Browning. This one doesn't have a Browning. That's cool. Pick up. No. We gotta do turret goes. Turret stand 1. And then engine stand 1. So it's basically doubled the workshop because I recently got this today. That was before recording. I was actually just like, you know what? I think I'll what's the word? I think I'll grab the second workshop so I don't have to have that out in the yard. And here it is. So you have these little tools where you get like a rust remover. It removes rust from, obviously, from the tank, different parts on the tank and everything like that. Got a sandblaster, removes the old paint. I'm just going to show you this little bit here so I see how everything works. And then you have a paint can, and you spray paint on there. Boom. And then you can paint it. Oops. But I don't want to do that just yet, because I like to go in sections. I like to remove as much rust as I can. And then I like to go through and remove all the, go through sandblasting, and then go through, I like to go through in sections, just because I feel like it's easier that way. So it's not like, oh, we've done, I did this half of the tank fully, but I haven't done this one at all, or anything over here at all. Sandblast. This mode's really useful, by the way. It makes it so much easier to actually see what you're missing. So red is anything that needs to be sandblasted or derusted. Green is anything that's done. Yellow is anything that needs to be primed. That needs rust. Green even shows up if it hasn't been fully painted, which is kind of annoying to me, but it's fine. I feel like there should be an orange somewhere in there. Ugh. Okay, I need to come on top of the tank here with the rust remover then. It's fine. We'll hit these little bits up here up. That needs... That's missing. Okay. I was like, why does that look so weird? Because it's missing. Alright, need to get on top of the tank with the rust remover. There we go. So I gotta hit up things like this. Back here. And certain things have to be just completely removed. By the way, interesting thing happened. I have the whole thing where it's like, I'm like, oh, all my friends get to design a tank that goes into the museum, because there's a museum in this game, which is really cool. And I was like, oh, I'll get all my friends to design a tank, and they get to design it however they want. And I was like, that's cool. Smash. um, I was like, that's whoa, whoa. What just happened? Oh goodness. And I was like, you know, and I pulled Obi in to do his tank. Need to nope. Sit in the driver. And I went through and I fixed up the tank for Obi, and I, did all this stuff. And I was like, all right. And then he designed it. He got it set up however he wanted the tank, that kind of stuff. And then I went to put it in the museum and I couldn't. And that's when I learned I was fixing it up for someone else. So they got a very special tank when they got their order back. That was a little funny. It's just like, ooh. Yeah, here's your tank. Wait, why is it this now? Why does it have all these things and it looks like this? Why does it have this camo when it didn't before? Don't worry about it. Engineer's touch, yeah. Yeah, that's definitely it. I didn't mess up and, accidentally think your order was my own tank. Yeah, don't worry about it. Alright. Something here isn't done being sandblasted. Is there any red? Here's some red. That needs to be derusted. I already knew that, though. Yeah, I think there's just that, and then the turret and the engine. And then putting parts on. And then going back over it. Because I'm going to miss something. Oh, I got an email. Alright. So, I like to get up to the point where everything is primed. And then I just buy all the parts that's missing and outsource repairs. Speaking of which, let's pull up the storage. M10, just grab all this. Thank you. Let's grab the rust remover and get work on the turret. So, this is a game that I like to play and just relax with. I find it very soothing because it's like a nice evening game. It's nice and quiet. You just fix up a tank and then I go to bed in the evening. There's no like action, nothing insane's happening. It's not like ending off the evening with War Thunder where I could end off like on a great match and things could have gone great that game. Or where I can end off and I've gotten completely destroyed the entire day. And I want to die. And I'm just upset and just angry. So that's the outsource repairs. So it's a little expensive, but I got way more than enough money to not have to worry about not outsourcing repairs. Both. I was gonna plan on doing two different games as like the non-Minecraft games for this week, but based on how we're not even done with this tank yet, I might just make this a two-parter. You know, like working on an M10 Part 1 and Part 2. Yeah. I'm just gonna sell this one. The M10 over there is gonna be Obi's M10. So I'm gonna have to get in a call with him at some point and build that up. Whoop! Give me that back. Build that up, repair it, you know, get him to design it and everything. It's gonna be fun. I gotta get in a call with Lindsay, get her to design one. Gotta get in a call with like Leo and you know some of my other friends. It's gonna be fun. I think at least. It'll be good. Alright. Engine is good. That's all good for primer. That's all good for primer. Let's grab the paint then. Oh, no. We need primer. Nope. Primer. Have the tanks already painted. It's fine. So maybe this episode is going to be like repairing the parts that are already on here, and next episode will be us reassembling it, and then like I can show off the test driving and whatnot. Yeah, that's what we'll do. This is like getting the tank and then fixing it up, and then like next episode we're going to finish fixing it and then like test drive it and put it in and sell it and then put it in the museum. Well, sell it. Test drive it and sell it. It's not going in the museum. Obi's tank's going in the museum. I think it's just like the top here and the inside that's missing. Okay, I was like, why isn't it changing? Oh, that's why. We good down here? No, we need these. Come on, there we go. And I think we just gotta do the whole turret here and we're good to go. So for example, I just bought the that, but what I plan on doing now that I've bought that second bit, this is what I was planning on doing back whenever I first got it, or back whenever I first saw you can get a second portion to the inside here, is my immediate reaction was, I'll have one tank that I'm working on for like the museum over, shut up, over there. And I'll have another tank over here that I'm working on for making money from like other people that isn't my tank. Yeah. Alright. So I think the only part left is painting. And then next episode we're going to reassemble and test drive it. Yeah. Oh, come on, climb up. There we go. Game can be a little jittery, sometimes a little annoying with controls, but other than that, it's great. The developers, ever since, I forget the company's name, but they're, I believe, based in Poland. But it's been fantastic. The like support that they've been issuing. It's like every day there's just been hot fixes and patches going out almost every day. It's been great. It's like even when games are, I prefer games being like fully released, but even when they're not fully released and they're like only partially released, but still the like developers are like updating it every single day. Like the Bannerlord had the similar issue where they released it and it wasn't done yet, but they had given us a date of release and so they released it. And so I appreciate it when like groups do that sort of thing because it's like, hey, you know, we keep our promises or stuff like that. And then like even if it's not exactly what you're looking for, it eventually gets to the point where it's uh, done basically. But anyway, that's gonna end this episode of uh, Tank Mechanic Sim. This little episode here. Next episode, Thursday, we're gonna also have one of these. Another one of these. We're gonna finish assembling the tank and we're gonna take it for a test drive. I'll see you all then.